would it be fair to say that probably the Coastal Habitat Protection Plan, the goals and objectives are being rolled back?
Yes.
Okay. Has it been effective at all in protecting fisheries?
I think that the implementation has only been incrementally over the last 10 years, and I think that there have been some improvements. But now we're going to see those improvements go away. There's less water quality testing. There's less restrictions on stormwater runoff. There's less protection of marshlands and wetlands when it comes to building and developing. And those were all things that were critical to the habitat protection plans. In this latest session, there was a stipulation that they had to report periodically to one of the committees in the legislature, and now they have changed that to they can report if there's any change. So there won't be regular updates to the General Assembly anymore on the progression of those plans.
And why is the Coastal Habitat Protection Plan even important?
If you don't have good water quality and good habitat for fisheries, they don't spawn. If you don't have those things in place to keep pollution out of the water, they don't live. And so what happens is that species decline, and when species decline, the ones regulated are not the polluters, they're the fishermen. And a lot of the fisheries regulations that have gone into place in the last 20 years are directly a result of pollution and habitat degradation rather than fisheries actions. You can't keep mitigating loss of environmental things needed by clamping down on the fishermen.
So the commission can take steps to regulate fishing, but their hands are pretty much tied as far as addressing other impacts on stock declines.
They don't have the authority to implement restrictions on water quality and habitat. However, they do have the authority to go to the General Assembly and say, this is a problem. We're regulating fisheries and we have to look at it as a whole, not just the effort of one group of fishers. I think that's been a problem in many areas of fisheries over the years. We've looked at one little thing and we haven't looked at all the confounders that affect it.
And last time I was here and we were talking, you mentioned the massive fish kills in the 1990s. Tell me a little bit about that.
There was a lot of pollutants going in the water, including phosphates and nitrogen. And it sparked algal blooms. So it was a combination of things. And there was some hysteria involved at the time that made things even worse, because there were scientists saying that the algae could kill people and have long-term health effects and things like that, which turned out really not to be the case. But in the meantime, we were having these massive fish kills, particularly on the Neuse River. And Fulton Fish Market in New York and the Baltimore market refused to accept North Carolina seafood because it got such national attention. And to try to offset that, Beverly Perdue, the former governor who was the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee at the time, and Jerry Schill, who is the director of North Carolina Fisheries Association, and some other people and I went out beside the Neuse River and had a fish fry to show that we weren't afraid to eat fish out of that river.
Was that effective then in sort of stemming some of that hysteria?
It helped a little bit. Okay. And then some of the steps that were taken right after that helped more. And one of them was the creation of the Clean Water Trust Fund, which Mark Basnight put all of his weight behind, and so did Beverly Perdue. And that addressed a lot of the pollution problems by routing money to different projects that would cut down on storm runoff and failing septic systems and things like that. So that was really a good purpose there. And that's still, I don't think it's funded at the same level, but that's still a good instrument to use for those things when the money isn't sidelined for pet projects for other things.